The most significant industrial metropolis in China.
And the final mission of Transport Fever 2.
The most significant industrial metropolis in the whole world.
Thanks everybody for leaving a like and supporting throughout the series.
Constantly on the move.
Modern day China.
In never-ending transformation. Where the journey is headed remains to be seen. But it's moving at breakneck speed, that's for sure. As a member of the municipal government, you set the decisive course. A simple decision-making matrix helps you to decide. The future lies in your hands.
Awesome. Very, very cool. Well, welcome back, everybody.
Shanghai, a metropolis with millions of
that's
people,
cool.
is surrounded by districts that equally house millions. The demand for mobility is growing. Make the necessary decisions for handling long-distance transportation. Two options exist for coping with the volume of passengers: trains or planes.
Okay. Well, good to see everybody here. Let's get to 1,000 likes for the final episode of Transport Fever 2. If you're excited, if you enjoy the channel, if you want to support, that is the greatest way to do it. 1 out of 4 do, so thanks to everybody who shows their support. Unfortunately, we have to choose only one, trains or planes. I'd like to go with trains personally because, I'd like to see some 2010 and future high-speed trains, but we really haven't seen much in terms of planes in this game so far, other than the Howard Hughes mission, and I'd like to start working on some passenger aircraft, though I would say, or I would argue, it's a lot more intelligent to do high-speed trains between some of these cities than it is to do planes. At least it just seems like you can transport more people faster or pretty much at the same speed, especially since there's a train in here that can go 420 kilometers an hour. So let's go ahead and begin with planes.
You've made your decision. The decision calls for establishing a suitable infrastructure and providing corresponding services.
Okay. Well, then we need to build 4 airports between what looks to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cities. So I suppose we'll do our largest cities first, and then we'll eventually connect the others. So let's get started then. All right, we haven't seen too much of airplanes, especially modern in this game, so I guess I'm glad I went with this one eventually, though I'm sure there'll be an opportunity. Look at all the needs there for machines and tools. We'll have to bring in trains at some point, I'm sure, especially since there's tools and machines there that have to be brought in. So let's go ahead and start building our airport. I suppose we could build that out on the near the ocean here. Ah, perfect. And of course we can get people bussed in here as well, so that way we can eventually get everybody going in and out of these airports with minimal effort. Alright, well, it's been a fantastic campaign so far. I've really enjoyed it. I hope the developers make some sort of a DLC or add-on with more missions. Of course, they'd have to hire more voice actors and such, but I truly feel that that's kept the game really alive and really interesting. I've really just enjoyed it so much so far. Okay, well, let's go ahead and go with our airport here. Though it is a little far out of the city, we can definitely build some trams or something to come to the airport. So we'll connect right here, and we'll build our next airport. Okay, 1 airport down. Let's go for our next big city over here. Nantong or... Actually, yeah, these 3 across the middle will be perfect. The distances are not very long at all. Unfortunately, the passenger airport is rather large, too. It's quite a big building. But I guess that's what you get with an airport. Right, let's delete some of these roads here. Of course, we are part of the Chinese government, so that just means we can walk right in and do whatever we want. Fantastic. Let's see. All right, airport number 2 complete. Let's go for number 3 now. Wow, this is a big boy. Let's see. This would have been so much better with trains, in my opinion, but I hadn't seen airports, and since we're in our last mission, it's like our last chance to do it. Let's put 1 airport there, and we'll connect the city up in just a second with roads. Wow, look at how it tries to make a flight path there for all the planes to come in. I guess we're gonna have to make this airport a little further away from the main city. Well, let's go ahead and put it right about here. And of course, we'll have buses come out to the airport. It's easy. Okay, perfect. So all airports are built. Now time to connect them. Make sure they are connected somehow. Looks like this is connected. If the city turns white, then we know we're ready for flight. That's good to go. Let's see, city number 3 there, and then I think this one is not connected, so we'll just have to make sure it is. Oh, it is. Okay. All airports are connected. We'll get buses going after that. Now we need to buy 12 planes and transport 200 people via plane. Okay. So let's go with the... there we are. I think that'll be just fine for us. So we'll go from... let's see. Each one of them is like east. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and start naming this line. We'll go ahead and call it the People's Only Airline. There we are. Perfect. Now we can buy 12 planes. Let's see what we have at our disposal. Oh boy. I don't think we need to build the biggest jets in the world yet, like the Tupolev 204. Boeing 737. 200 knots, 340. I think we'll go with the 737 just because of its capacity. Oh, wait a minute. That only hauls only hauls cargo, though. We need passenger jets. So the 737-700 would be fine. And the other one, this one's too small, and I think this one's too big, in my opinion. 33, I think is perfect, especially if we need 12 jets. Holy crap. Now, it's kind of cool. We could actually do this mission again, focusing on trains, so it does have some replayability, which is kind of cool. I wish there were more missions like that where it would ask you to choose. It'd be cool to see some more modern missions. Alright, let's go ahead and throw all these bad boys on the line. And I'm going to start renaming some of these airports too while we wait for things to start kicking. So let's go ahead and call this Shanghai. Let's call this Shanghai International. I'm sure there's some real ones, but... Shanghai International. Can I fit airport in there? I think that might be a little too wordy. Oh good, it actually fits on the thing. If we hover over it, perfect. Alright, then we'll call this one, let's see. Let's call this one Nantong. Alright, we'll have the other ones be local only. So that way, if you're going to fly out of the country, you have to go to Shanghai first. And we'll keep calling them all airport. Alright. And the last one over here at Guangzhou. First. Alright, perfect. Alright, all good to go. Now we have our first aircraft getting ready to take off. Now we need to start building all of our connections. I find this to be a lot of fun when we get to connect all the cities via local transit. These cities are actually among some of the biggest in the game. I've not seen any ones bigger than this. I'm actually going to build a bus/tram station here, so that way we can build a tram line that links through. So let's go with a large street. I'll have to cut this off. Let's see, we build a big street that goes across here. And to the airport and out. And it looks like there's some reason to go out here, too. I see there's a few areas that we're eventually going to have to ship trucks to and or train. So we're definitely going to be working on that. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get all the cities that have airports connected via buses. And then I'm going to build all the truck depots for what looks to be a tool factory, machine factory, fuel refinery, goods factory, food factory, and a construction material factory, and see if we can get them all connected up. It looks like they all produce stuff, so it looks like you can see here some cities require fuel, some cities require building materials, so it looks like rail is going to be for freight and planes will be for passengers. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, though we have not transported any passengers via train yet, everything's going good now. Trams are set up in Shanghai, and all other cities connected via airport have bus systems rolling. I've also taken a chance here at building a truck depot out there. Our trucks, by the way, are very, very small, so if we're transporting any cargo, it's going to have to go via rail. So we have tool factories and machine factories here that I'm going to connect via high-speed rail to go into Shanghai because it accepts both. But then also there's other cities such as Jiaxing. I might not say them right, but you understand that we need to connect these cities in order to deliver goods to them. So, for example, the good factory here at Wuxi is pretty close, and that would be a great distance for trucks. But then distances such as Nantong might have to go via train. So it's then going to be up to us to connect everything local distance by small truck, but then further distance by train. So if we're going to get things, for example, across this large lake, it's probably going to have to go via train down here, maybe truck, but it'll have to be connected very soon. Let's take a look at our planes. Looks like people are getting to the airport, and they are in small number. I've been playing in slow speed here, so we should have our first couple of passengers coming around then, as we have our line kind of going counterclockwise from the initial point there. Oh, good. So we'll probably see at least a couple of hundred passengers here in the next few seconds. I'm going to continue on then getting the train line connected. What I'd like to do is make maybe one stop here and see if I could get the... well, maybe I could have built the train here. I was going to build a bridge across, but what I could do is have trucks bring it a short distance to a large gathering section and then have it separated that way. In fact, if I have a train bring it here, we could truck it into here and then have another train come in there. Lots of options for what we could do, as well as a small little trucking company here to bring goods in. So I'll see what I can do. I'll experiment a little bit to see what the best method is, but it seems like trains are really the only way to transport any sort of goods, and passengers are going to have to go via plane, which they did. 6 of them now getting off the plane, and I'm going to try to keep our speeds at least 220, I think. Let's take a look at our trains here, our options. I'll just quickly place down a depot here, maybe on this side, and see if we can get it connected here shortly. We'll put a small depot right there. All right, let's see what we got for trains. It looks like mostly diesel. Oh, some electric. Wow, a very good one. The HXD3B freight locomotive that can hold heavy compositions. Good, very good. That's a very powerful train, and that'll be perfect for tools and machines, which can be a little beefy at times. All right, I think we're going to go with that then. We'll hook everything up and deliver everything via train, and we'll only use trucks to get out to this island here to deliver building materials here and goods here, and then food. Oh boy, that's going to be a long distance over here, so we'll deliver that as well. All right, let's get everything hooked up. I'll see you guys at 200 transported passengers. Now, looks like another possible optional goal here.
The Yangshan seaport makes it possible to import and export goods.
I think that's it
The
here.
option exists to provide one service or another.
Okay.
You are now in charge of importing goods. This calls for meeting the corresponding targets.
Oh, I see. So this is a port of export. So I can't... Do we import goods from there or export goods from there? Well, I'll figure that out. Apparently it says import, so I'm assuming that's the only place things can come in, because if they're made locally, that's not an import. So, all right, we'll go ahead and figure that one out too. So we'll get, in addition to that, 100 goods transported to the cities. All right, pretty close to being finished up with this section. I built some nice roundabouts here and some county roads that connect nicely from the fuel refinery up here, which is pumping away fuel constantly, but our trucks are bringing it in pretty reliably. All other goals completed, including our imports, which I opted for a cargo plane. We're bringing it in, all the goods via the seaport, and then the road is bringing them right to the airport, where we have a cargo plane from here picking up those goods and flying back and forth. So it pretty much has like a full-time job of just pulling up to the airport and then dropping them off here and then leaving again. So let's listen to the message here on this one.
The goal has been accomplished. Meeting the corresponding targets has been assured.
Excellent. All right, so we just need to wait a little bit for some more fuel to be delivered. In the meantime, we're still making money from these lovely deliveries. Hopefully we see our plane coming here very soon. The cargo option was pretty good, actually. I didn't even think of that when we first selected the... oh, there's our cargo plane now. I didn't even think of that when we first selected the option for planes versus trains, which is nice, because if we only have to ship to a city like something very light, like 100 packages or something, that's like 2 or 3 flights to go to these other cities. So we might be able to deliver goods here and possibly to other cities by importing them that way. And it looks like we've got some fuel backups here. Oh, there it goes.
Well done. Growth has been channeled in the desired directions. Now it's necessary to plan further urban development. Make the necessary decisions with respect to the emphases to be placed.
Oh, wow, we got to keep making decisions.
2 options exist with respect to further urban development. Focus on the needs of the residential population, or focus on the needs of industry and commerce.
Interesting. I'm going to pick one. I'm going to actually save here, and then I'm going to pick whatever option seems most interesting. I think I'd want to go for residence to see if we can go... I hope it asks for more airports. If not, I'll go with the industry and business if it doesn't ask for that. All right, well, I guess we're going to go with this option, which is the residential, which requires us to have a city grow to a certain size. I mean, we're basically 1,000 away here, and I assume in Shanghai that's probably the biggest. Actually, it's all total numbers altogether, which really requires you to deliver passengers. The other option was probably, deliver an X amount of number of fuel again or whatever. I don't know, but I didn't even check that option. But this one was immediately interesting to me.
Measures involving transportation technology enable inhabitants' movement patterns to be captured and recorded. The option exists to monitor the urban population.
Yes, let us monitor them. Let's ensure absolute control.
Monitoring inhabitants on public means of transit calls for a long period of lingering at the stops.
Create crowd control stations value 80%. What does that mean exactly? I think that means that we need for long periods of lingering at the stops. So we need to slow down the frequency of pickups, I guess, in order to... Oh, that's ass. I don't want to do that. I want to transport people as quickly as possible. That's annoying. All right, let's check this option here again. This is the main quest.
You've made your decision. The decision calls for the respective entities to grow on an appropriate scale.
All right, so we just basically need Shanghai and all these other cities to grow to a total population of over 5,000, which will get done eventually with all the airplanes going back and forth. Looks like the airports are pretty good at transporting people. There's like 120-something there, so I think we'll let them continue to grow so that way station crowded values are up to 80%, because how do we see crowded values? Overview, time scale. I don't know if there's a percentage to see that unless it requires tram stations. No, that doesn't show either. I think we actually do it city-wise. Let's see. Ah, here it is. Yeah, so we want, let's see, target population 140. There's some menu here, something to do with how crowded it gets. Maybe I'll never accomplish that one, but that one kind of seems lame. It's like purposely be inefficient so people can be monitored. It's like, okay, but also kind of dumb. All right, let's grow these cities up to 5,000. The station one can be done at any time, but that's a side quest that's a little silly in my opinion. But if we let people sit at the airports for long enough, maybe I could take a couple planes off the line, purposely reducing our efficiency, but that would hurt our ability to grow. So let's first let these cities get to 5,000, then we'll start purposely being inefficient. In fact, maybe I'll add some more planes to the line, because now we got a lot of passengers here, and it couldn't hurt to add a few more planes. So let's do that. We'll add 3 more planes. And before we had the, let's see, the passenger service on the 737-700. So let's add 3 of those. The airports are rather busy already, but it wouldn't hurt to have some more coming through. Looks like that's a pretty appropriate number of planes, though. Wow, look at that cargo airplane. Damn, that is huge. Thing's loaded up with, what, 50 packages? 54? All right, good. Okay, we'll go ahead and increase efficiency and then purposely decrease efficiency after we hit 5,000. All right, well, we're at the end of the road here. We're about to hit 5,000 for residential total number of passengers, and it seems like naturally the station efficiency is dropping to 80% or getting closer because of the amount of people using the network. Oh, there we go.
Well done. Urban development is now on the desired path. Now it's necessary to meet the corresponding targets. They conform to the previously made decisions.
Okay.
The stipulated targets call for suitable growth in the corresponding categories.
We need to make money. Well, earning money is not going to be a problem. We're already blowing through that. Relatively short episode for you, but a lot of, like, waiting for figures to come up for me. Like, this mission, probably for you, is like 30 minutes or less, but for me it was about an hour and a half, just kind of waiting for things once they were in position to be completed. So if we're going to wait for the station, I think... also we're just, like, severely bankrupt because of all the, I guess, inefficiency and just going for the main goals.
A new landmark is necessary for Shanghai.
Oh.
The option exists to build the structure.
Let's go for it, I guess.
Building the structure calls for manpower and construction materials.
All right, well, first we need to transport workers there. We've got a literal tram stop right outside of where they want to build the Pearl. So,
Well done.
Oh.
This is the city of the future. An urban space shaped according to your decisions. Up to now, the greatest achievement in the entire history of transportation.
Okay, then. I guess we can continue playing. Control would just need to drop to 80% naturally as the number of people using the system grows. If we don't make improvements, it'll just naturally grow. And then as for the Oriental Pearl Tower, I'm assuming first we need to deliver workers, then machine parts, then tools. We've already got the stop set up for that. I don't have any money to, I think, make any changes to the line, so we're probably boned. But what I could do is, I mean, in order to beat the mission, we could just end up selling all of our airplanes and trains and just only have buses to transport the people, and then maybe the one train needed to ship tools and machine parts over here. So we could beat it with kind of a little bit of cheese, which is totally fine, because some of the times I'm more focused on completing the objectives than I am the money. Because, you know, that's why they start you with $500 million or $500 billion in some cases. Crazy amounts. Let's see here if people are being delivered, though. This should count as being delivered right up here. Although it's not highlighting white, which is kind of strange. Other buildings are. Like, for example, that one and this one and these buildings. Is it directly connected to it? It should register. I think it's just a tram needs to come around. I think one just did, but I don't see anybody getting off of it. But that's fine. So I assume deliver 200 people, then like 100 machine parts and 100 tools, and then magically it'll build itself. Maybe also construction materials too. But we've already got a train line here to do it. Again, bricks over here, and then tools over there, and then machine parts here. So they're all connected to Shanghai. So it's just going to take a matter of time. And also the same with the station, just to get overwhelmed, I suppose. Since we're more focused on completing objectives like being inefficient purposely than actually making money, which is totally fine. I'm way more interested in completing objectives than just... If every mission was just get money, get money, get money, it'd be kind of boring after a while anyway. Like, there are a few missions where it is, like we just saw, to get a certain amount of cash. But after a while, it just becomes boring because you're more focused on efficiency than you are, like, little storytelling elements. All right, folks, the next final mission is coming up. Just kidding. This was the end of the line. I hope you all enjoyed the series of this lovely Transport Fever 2. And I really think the game is quite good. And has a lot of stuff from the previous game that I find to be quite good, too. Oh, look at that. One person has been delivered. All right. It's going to be a long-ass road. Okay, well, we'll consider this one a 3-star. I'm not sitting here all day waiting for this one. I'm going to go play some other games, too. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everyone.